here to talk to you about how to make your own homemade, very cozy, homemade coasters. Now last time on the show, if you'll remember, we learned how to do all the basic stitches and how to do what's called the magic circle. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. There's no reason to go any further. First step though is let's get all of our stuff together. So of course you're going to want your yarn. I chose a cotton yarn for this purely because cotton is very absorptive. It'll make sure that it's safe. It's easy to wash. I wouldn't suggest it for fabrics for clothing and things of that nature, but our focus today is household goods, especially in the need of coasters. I'm using 3 colors. You can use any amount of colors you want. You can trade anytime, and I am going to tell you how to switch them off, so we'll talk about that. The other thing you're going to need is an E-hook. This is an E-size hook. That way you can see it. It's very small. It's very, very fun. The whole reason you use a smaller hook in lieu of a bigger hook is because it messes with your tension. So see here, I used a bigger hook and you have much larger holes where more things can fall through, while a thinner hook will make sure that it's nice, tight, and just looks very nice and pretty. So we're going to start ahead by getting our piece of yarn. You're always going to want to make sure that it comes from the inside and not from the outside, because when it comes from the outside, your ball's consistently rolling and it's frustrating and you just have to deal with that all day long. So don't do that. So we're going to make our O. And we're going to hold it right here. We're going to do our pinch, take our crochet hook, go in and wrap around again and through. And this is just our basic double crochet stitch, so we're not doing anything unique. I did something unique. I went through 2 holes at the same time. Don't do that. And then you're going to go through again. And you're going to do this 10 times around the interior of your circle. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. It'll take us just a quick second. Hopefully while you've been at home, you've been practicing your double crochet, your single crochet. All we're really going to need for this one is a double crochet. There's really no reason for anything smaller than that, because the smaller it is, the longer it takes to go through. And the bigger it is, you just waste yarn. Especially for home goods where you want a tighter weave because it makes sure to absorb things. It's just a stronger material. If you want to think about this as making a cloth, it's a very tight weave cloth. It doesn't push through, and it's good for literally everything. There we go. And if you slip up a time or two, it's okay. It's going to happen. Welcome to crochet. You're in the world of making mistakes and learning from them. So there we go. Count your stitches when you're done. Make sure you have the number of stitches that your pattern says. I never learned mine from an actual pattern. I learned mine from my grandmother, but the pattern you can use, I do have online. You can literally Google a crochet pattern and you will find it. There are millions of beautiful patterns online. Go for it. Online, there's a place called Ravelry. They have wonderful ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we need a few more double crochets. There we go. All right, and we finished our first circle. So with our magic, we're going to go whoop, do our slip stitch into here, and we have our first round, so you can see that. And what you do with your string is you just pull it and it gets it nice and tight. And when we come back after the break, I will show you how to have the next set ready. So be ready to go. Keep working on this during the break. Go ahead and have another set of double.
I hate folding clothes. It's the worst part of laundry.
Me too, but ever since I found this new attachment, I never need to fold laundry.
What?
You can immediately fold your clothes after the cycle is done.
Simple Fold. Folding made simple.
Have our double around the edge. I wasn't able to quite get there during the break, but hopefully you were, and if you weren't, we're going to keep working on it. So we're going to do 2 chains at the beginning to make sure that you have your first stitch, and then you're going to go into each row and make sure that you have your double crochet ready. So it's going to be 2 doubles in each hole. So we're going to go around the edge and work on that and finish what we have going. There we go. And it's a really easy stitch. You just Never go through more than 2 at a time. That's just a basic stitch rule. Once again, it comes with time and practice. You're never going to get it right on the first crochet, so don't worry if yours don't turn out great. I've only been crocheting for a few months. I learned it from family. I also learned it from work. It's one of those things that you get over time. It's very, very stress relieving. It's very good if you have arthritis. It's just very, very good for a lot of things. It's very soothing. Just take your time. Be patient with yourself. You'll get there. Crochet is also a wonderful gift. The holidays are coming up. So if you want to go ahead and make your family members little things to protect their furniture. Sorry, I couldn't think of words. You can do that. It's wonderfully freeing. And it's one of those things you can kind of do anywhere. I usually keep, a little bit of crochet in my backpack, just something to keep my hands busy. And it's a really strong way of connecting with others. I actually met one of my best friends because I worked at a Michael's and taught her crochet class. So like, anything can happen. Learn crochet. Take your time. All right, and we are finishing our last set of doubles. Okay, so we're going to do our slip stitch again. So we're going to go right into this boy right here. Slip, slip. Okay, and you got your first round. So your first round being completed. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and snip. Make sure to leave enough on the ends that you can weave in the edges. So don't worry about that. Think about that. And we're going to switch to a new color. I picked a pink. I thought it was very, very nice, and it reminds me of my cousin. I've been working on stuff for my cousin because she just bought a new apartment. Or condo, or whatever they're called. They're like those little houses. Townhomes, they're called townhomes. So anyway, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna double crochet around the edges. Nothing new. Nothing all that exciting. We're gonna do the same thing. When you're finishing up your craft, the only difference is going to be around the very end edges. You're going to do 1, 2, so you're gonna do a double, and then a single, and then a double and a single. So you're gonna do 2 doubles, and then a single double. That sounds confusing. You're gonna do 2 stitches, and then 1 stitch, 2 stitches, 1 stitch, but with that double crochet. So you're going to move from there. And you're going to want to make sure you're keeping your tension correct. So tension is very, very important in crochet. We talked about this last time. The whole purpose of tension is how it helps with the density of your material, as well as it ensures that it actually looks nice, that it's a good weave. Because if you don't have a nice enough weave, then it's not going to stay together the way it needs to. So always, always make sure that you are watching your tension. The best way to practice your tension, just do this. Hold it like that for a second and be like, yeah, is that too tight? You should have no problem moving the crochet hook. If it ever feels like you're fighting against your crochet hook, you need to adjust your tension. Never, never fight your crochet hook. It's always right. We're going to keep going around our edges. It's just a real smooth product. So we're going to go ahead and put this down for a second, and I'm going to make sure that you understand how to finish off your product. So this is a final one that I did last night. If you'll look in the back, I went ahead and sewed in the edges right along here. What it is there was this little bit of extra string at the end, and what you do is you take your darning needle and you needle it through. We're not going to do that yet because your crochet coaster is not done yet. They sometimes take about 10 minutes, depends on how fast you go. Everybody has their own speed for it. When you get to this final row, if you can kind of look at the stitches, it's very difficult too, but there's 2 and then 1, 2 and then 1. Make sure you continue that with your double crochet. The whole thing is double crochet. So if you can do that, you can do this. And thank you all for joining me. Thank you for coming to Crochet Corner, and I hope all of you have a productive, wonderful, crochet crafty day.